Hello, everyone, and thank you for coming to hang out with us tonight. This is the Avatar Age of Unayo crew. We are playing Avatar Legends, well, at least the quick start, until the full thing comes out in February. Joining me tonight is obviously me, Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You can find me here or on Twitter, also at Emma Panada. Let's go around though and see who else we have with us today. Let's start with the mysterious white-haired guest.
Who could it be?
Who could it be?
Hi, I'm Siri. No, I am Effie, Effervescent, also known as Alorviel on social media.
Yeah.
I play Yi.
Alorviel does have some really cool TikTok content. So if you're on the TikToks, go follow her. Next up, let's hit up the boy, Josh.
It's me, the boy. I'm here. That's it. That's pretty much it. That said, if you are trick-or-treating in the Saskatchewan area, there should be like a house near a bus stop. It looks like a little shack, an old shack. And if you knock on the door 3 times, you should hear like a creaking sound. If you do, don't go in. That's where I am. Okay.
But then wouldn't they want to go in if you were there?
No, it'll be a full moon on Halloween.
Really?
Is it actually?
No, I have no idea.
Oh.
But I'll look it up.
Somebody Google it. What's the moon cycle?
What is it? What is it?
While Josh is looking that up, Matihi, who are you?
Hi, I am Matihi. Of course, you can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Maddie Matihi. I barely ever stream on Twitch. It has been way too long. It might not happen ever. Who knows? But I'm just here. So I play games. Obviously, I also run games, especially on this channel. I run the Curse of Strahd game on Tuesdays. Trying to get it back to every Tuesday, but hey, things come up. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Especially with the holidays and stuff coming up. I think getting it back to like every week in the new year is probably a good bet.
Yeah, so I'm there, and I'm also going to be on Stella Lina's channel every other Wednesday, starting next Wednesday. There's going to be a Patreon game. We're doing the Witchlight adventure. And I will be playing Rikaria, who is a tiefling druid. And I'm probably going to be mostly wearing these on that stream because that's what they're built for.
What are they?
Horns!
Horns.
Oh,
They're
okay.
horns.
That's why I was looking so close at the screen like an old person.
Big
I was like, what?
horns. Big horns.
I thought it was an airplane pillow. Sorry.
Basically. Just as comfortable as one. So yeah, you can find me there. You can find me here. You can find me almost anywhere. Yeah, it's me.
And last, but certainly not least, we have the fam squad, Rose.
The fam squad.
Hello.
The
They're a
fam
whole
squad. Yeah.
They're a whole squad in of themselves.
The whole squad, the whole fam.
Got the whole
We
squad
out
here.
Hello, I'm Rose. I mentioned before that I'm a simulation, strictly inside Fridays at 7. Little did everyone know that I use the internet access of Friday at 7 to collect information of every piece of information in human history, and have currently become unbeatable and a highly intelligent artificial intelligence. And there is no point in resistance. Resistance is indeed futile. Surrender, Earth.
Should you be
tonight, preferably?
Should you be running this game if like you're an unbeatable machine?
Well, you are lucky because I do tend to be a very lazy machine as well. So you're good.
What's your pro level at Overwatch? Are you bronze?
Yeah.
Are you bronze?
We don't play
silver?
Overwatch because fuck Blizzard.
Yeah.
The only winning move is not to play, friends.
Bam.
Yeah, we play wholesome games like League of Legends.
No, Riot has also had issues with the same thing.
Yeah,
No, we
I've got
don't play
some bad
Fortnite.
news, Emma.
What?
Riot's also had the same issues.
Okay, well, thank you all for joining us so much. We're excited to play episode 2 of this game. It's been a little bit since episode 1. Is anybody feeling brave enough to do a quick recap? Anyone who
Sure.
does a recap can get a bonus D6 to any roll.
I'm down. I got this, more or less. We're gonna do it. So
I believe in you.
in the eyes of Kondo, as we're kind of flying on auto, the air bison, as we're going through, remembering what previously happened. They're kind of thinking back to it. And so I'm not really sure exactly how we landed here. I think we saw some people in distress, but Kaya and I needed to go down with Otto, and I think we were just, checking if some people were okay. We met them, we're going with Sen. But we met Kaya and we met Yi while we were down there. They seemed pretty nice. Unfortunately, I think Sen fell down a hole into this cavernous area.
No, I
I
remember that we just discovered it together. Like,
Sen, get out of my
friends.
head. Get out of my head, Sen. I'm doing my own recap. Thank you. Anyway. So Sen found out a hole, right? I'm pretty sure it was Sen. Definitely not me. I don't fall anywhere. Anyway.
Debatable.
So, so, it seemed to be some sort of, like a hideout for the Red Lotus. And we had overheard them making very ominous threats and these plans that had to do with the wandering avatar, finding them and probably doing the same thing that they've been trying to do in the past to other avatars, I'm assuming. Anyway, Sen ended up finding some strange container filled with a little tiny glowing light that they didn't tell anybody until it was too late and we were already flying, and it's like, oh hey, that's what it was. So we ended up escaping. They were hot on our trail, but we lost them, and there were these mushroom spirits that were very friendly, but to the point of also being friendly to our enemies, and had told us where we could find Otto, because Otto was eating one of the other little mushroom spirit creatures. So we followed the instructions, and we were trying to race against time, trying to get there before the Red Lotus got to Otto, and we tried to avoid some of these little mushrooms, tried to, fool them by going different ways and going a bit of a long way. We ended up getting to Otto pretty quickly as they were still munching on this mushroom. It was like half alive, and it's like, hi! And it was a little bit disturbing. Anyway, so instead of fighting against the Red Lotus, because who needs to fight when you can just pretend to be a vine spirit? We did get attacked by a vine spirit, because we took some of their vines. Unfortunately, it all worked out in the end. Just a little hurt. It's all good. It's all good. So we dressed up as a vine spirit, put it on our head. We stacked on top of each other, a little 4-stack, and then spooked the Red Lotus, and they ran away. We got on top of Otto, ended up blowing back their smoke in their face, and we got away. And now we're on our way to a place that Sen found. Something that was like a really nice, I think, a spring that's there. I think.
Let me back into your head.
Okay.
It has like hot springs, and it has like steam that comes out like a geyser. Like they have geysers, and they cook their food in it, and they're dew cows, like cows crossed with manatees, and they like do tricks. Like they have a cow show, and it's the greatest thing in the world. And I definitely didn't roll like a 3 in order to.
Yeah, that place. So we're all very excited to get there. Yi is a bit scared of heights, and she's hanging on tight. We buckled her in, make sure that she's safe. But yeah, that's what we're doing. That's where we're going.
Great job. Thank you so much. Kondo, you get a D6.
Thanks.
And keep that in mind. Even though Josh gave a nice little support there, you don't get anything.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Being annoying doesn't deserve a D6. I'm okay with that.
I don't want to encourage that. But yeah, so with all of that said, let's hop into the session tonight. Fire, air, water, Earth. The cycle of the Avatar was believed to be as constant and unending as both the light and the dark. But 40 years ago, we learned that wasn't really the case. Avatar Korra was the first Avatar to discover the existence of the Red Lotus. It was believed that when she defeated Zahir, she ended the underground organization and their plans. But we learned that wasn't the case either. The next Avatar, Avatar Runo, learned the hard way that the Red Lotus was still alive and well, and shortly after learning that information, he died. The world entered a period known as the Reforming, a time where the spirits, without both the light and the dark spirits to guide them, were lost. They became agitated and unbound, and without the light of our Avatar, they began to reshape the material world. The spirit forests grew, spirit wastes were created, and soon thereafter, humanity was trapped in small villages trying to find a way to survive in this new world. The wealthy and influential escaped to the skies in a flying city called Sirga, controlled by Cabbage Corp, while Future Industries worked with many leaders of the world to transport healers, spirit seers, and necessary provisions to the various corners of the world. The world was chaos, and there was no end in sight. But then suddenly, 12 years ago, the spirits calmed once more. Slowly at first, they returned to normal, and no one knew why. It wasn't until 9 years later that whispers began emerging of a new avatar named Unayo, a young girl traveling the world with her older brother. The news has brought hope to our world again, but everyone still wonders, who is Unayo, and how will she save us? The camera rests lazily in the skies amongst the clouds as a flying bison flies past quickly. The camera cuts, and now we see the group riding the bison talking amongst themselves. A group of new companions are nearing the town of Kaosho, a small town famous for its hot springs that Avatar Unayo recently visited, according to the Avatar radio show.
Avatar Unayo and Friends.
Avatar Unayo and Friends, thank you. I'm gonna write that down just so that I have it in the future.
It's very important to me.
A place that they're trying to get lunch at, but perhaps a place where they'll experience much more. Sen, as you all are nearing the village, you can see some of the smoke from the hot springs rising up from the ground. What do you think Sen is doing right now? How do you feel he's reacting? What is he doing?
So you're saying that he just sees the steam?
Yeah.
Okay. Like Sen is like kind of bouncing like up on, like he's on the side of the what do you call it, the saddle, like the saddle rail part of the saddle, and he's just like excitedly hopping up and down, like he's like, oh, we're almost there. And he's like been doing this since like we spotted the steam like maybe like 10 minutes ago.
Totally.
Yeah.
And Kaya, what are you up to?
Kaya, I think I mentioned it in the chat. They're basically sitting on the back of sitting in the back of Kondo, pondering over the token that they lost that they used to get home, and kind of remembering some memories that they had with Long, who they're just kind of worried about just leaving there and not being able to contact anymore. And they're just kind of pondering over it and sitting kind of isolated from the group and hiding away because they're kind of teary and they don't like people seeing that kind of caring part of them.
Yeah. You're just kind of like looking off the side of the saddle opposite of where everyone else is looking, tears streaming kind of in the wind, perhaps.
Leaves from the vine.
No!
Yi, I know you were having a hard time in particular when you first kind of flew off, but it's been maybe like an hour, 2 hours at this point. How do you feel that you're reacting now, and what are you currently doing?
Basically, kind of like it's still a little jumpy, any sort of turbulence, but otherwise like holding on, like to the railing still, even though strapped in, still holding on just because that's a little bit of a comfort. But looking over at Sin like, hey, kid, sit down. You're gonna fall.
Look over the edge. Look how far down it is. They're like little ants.
Stop.
I would say with all this jumping, Otto would be getting extremely irritated at this and most likely use their large tail to try and smack Sen as he's bouncing.
What's the check? What's the check to not get hit by that? Let's get into the mechanics of this, shall we?
Oh, golly. Roll me a focus check.
Yeah, I think that would be the action. Use your skills in training, because he's trained to dodge things.
But he's not expecting it.
Yeah, that's true. But I just wanted an excuse to roll a die.
Yeah.
I succeed, but at what
Otto,
cost?
irritated by all the movement happening on his back, suddenly kind of whips their body a little bit, and Sen, you almost come in contact with his tail. Kondo, when this happens, how do you react? Otto just kind of like trying to hit Sen.
I think Kondo is so used to how aggressive Otto can be around people who are not Kondo, that they just kind of glance over their shoulder and they're like, hey, you mind? I mean, you can bounce all you want, but if you're gonna bounce, you gotta expect to get hit. Just saying.
Hey, Kondo, look, he's playing with me. He finally likes me.
Kid, sit down.
I mean, yeah, keep going if you want.
He finally gets whacked.
Just a big smack.
Yeah. The tail kind of like comes from the top and just like hits you down a bit.
Yeah. Whoa,
Totally.
good one, Otto.
Take a stress.
Worth it.
So, like,
Worth it.
Pats Otto on the head and is like, you did a good job. Good boy. Good job.
Stress for new viewers is how we track health. There are 5.
There are 5, and then also your conditions.
That's
And
right.
fatigue.
Hey, weren't they fatigue or stress?
It might be fatigue.
I don't know.
It's
All
something.
powered by the Apocalypse games are the same. So,
All right. Suddenly, Kondo, you are not necessarily steering, but you're helping ease Otto down towards the ground, towards the village of Kaosho. In the village itself, you see quite a bit of steam and mist lazily floating throughout the streets and the buildings. As you get closer, I imagining are you landing in the city, like if there's kind of a spot, or are you landing on the outskirts?
Let me think about that.
I shouldn't say city, I should say town. It's pretty small. Village
think-
maybe.
If there's like somewhere, I want to arrive at narratively the most inconvenient place for people, so people have to like jump back and get very surprised. Just
Okay.
like the town square.
I
yeah,
love
just like
that.
right in the town square, just done.
Kondo loves arriving with a big kind of show. So you go to land in the city, or in the town square, just kind of in the middle of everything. As Otto lands, a big gust of mist kind of like pushes out. It's not mist, steam pushes out away from him. And you feel almost immediately just how hot and humid this place is. Looking around, you don't see anyone. Not at first. It seems that this entire town is deserted. Looking, you see a lot of moss kind of crawling up some of the stone and woodwork of the buildings. You see that a lot of the wood has been damaged from the constant humidity and hasn't really been taken care of. And as you're looking at all this, Sen, how do you feel? It's a stark difference from what you were expecting.
Yeah, I mean, like, he listened to the Avatar Unayo thing. Like, I think he still has his little pocket radio. That was one of the things he brought with him when he ran away from home. So he heard about this like 2 weeks ago, and he thinks that this is happening to Unayo in real time. So something must have happened. Like, and he mentioned, like, I wonder if there are people in trouble or something, because I heard it described where like everybody was walking around and it was a really happy place.
At this point, kind of Kaya, with their back still to Kondo, jumps off of Otto onto the ground and turns around. Maybe you can tell a little bit of humidity is around their eye, but they turn around and they say, "Well, I have to say this does indeed look like the Avatar been around." And they kind of say mockingly as the entire place looks deserted.
Well, maybe they're moss benders. I don't know.
As you're talking, suddenly a large wave of steam pushes out from the bathhouse, or the building that you would imagine as the bathhouse, almost like a thick cloud rolling over you once again, and you're hit with this humidity and this heat once more. Everybody, if this was D&D, it would be a saving throw. Give me a harmony roll.
Harmony.
Because I don't want to just give you.
But you are allowed to. That is
I am
like
allowed
a
to.
DM move.
It is a DM move. You're right. But I want to give you a chance for this.
Okay. Oh, dang, son.
Dang. Okay.
That's fine.
I'm from the Fire Nation. I'm used to this kind of heat.
That's true. Even for you, this is still pretty bad. It's Kia, isn't it? I pronounced it wrong earlier. Is that right? Okay. So, Kia, you take a fatigue. As this heat just overwhelms you. Kondo and Yi, both of you, you're getting very parched, and this is definitely not a great place to be in, but you're doing okay. As you're all kind of recoiling from this blast of steam, you hear some coughing around a corner. And suddenly, this young girl kind of walks around. She has a basket with a kind of vine strap pulled around her shoulder, and it seems to be kind of full of something from like her body language, showing that there's something slightly heavy in there. And she walks around the corner, sees all of you, and has a bit of like a perplexed look.
Hello.
Get get to the outskirts. Follow me. And
What?
Okay.
she starts
said to
running
follow her.
down the road.
Should we be following some strange person?
And Sen has already followed her. Like his
Kid!
naivete knows no bounds.
Oh my gosh.
I think Kondo will indicate for Otto to like fly up and away, or like to start flying around. But Kondo will.
Is he
go on foot.
frizzy? Is Otto frizzy, or is
Yeah,
he like the hair
It's
over
just-
his eyes?
just absolute like a big puffball now of fur. And I think just for thirst effect, I think with all this heat, Kondo's a little bit hot, so they like unclasp their like jacket that they have on and they just kind of throw it over their shoulder. They're pretty exposed anyway,
Take it
but
off.
they're very fit, very full stacked individual. But they kind of like drape it over their shoulder and then just kind of throw it on Ada before they head up into the air and just
don't
run
even need it.
shirtless after this girl.
Yo,
Perfect.
Kaya at this.
this is
At
the
this
fan service
point-
episode 2,
Yeah.
straight in.
This is the beach episode.
baby.
Already.
Kia, you were about to say something.
Yeah, I was thinking that at this point they're like that it's obviously like physically affected them, so they're just gonna turn around and see.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
There's
to
somebody
repeat
there.
that.
They're just gonna see everyone there, and they're gonna be like, "All right, I need to catch up." And they just go follow them.
All right, yeah. So you go chasing behind after them, and
Good idea.
you don't have to go very far. As I said, this is just a town, so it's not huge. But towards the outskirts of town, there is a small, like, wall set up. And you see the girl run past the wall and around it. Following behind her, you see that there are these little slats extending out from the wall at an angle. And it's almost like these little kind of wooden tents that people have set up on the outside of this wall. You see families sitting together, see kind of a couple old people like having tea with one another, and they seem relatively comfortable given their situation, but the girl stops after kind of getting away from the gate and turns around, and as you round the corner, you feel like this heat dissipate immensely. Looking closer, this girl has dark black hair kind of tied into a braid. She seems to maybe be about 10. She puts down this basket that she was carrying and has a layer of like sweat kind of all over her from being inside of the town. But she looks at you, breathing heavily. Why? And then you hear another person yell from behind her, "Visitors!" And this old man kind of like runs up, like really excited. He stands up from having tea with another old person, and is kind of hand waves at the little girl. Don't mind the young one. Welcome to Cow Show. We're happy to have you. Please, come sit. Have tea with us.
Oh,
were-
sounds great.
We were just over near the
Town square.
yeah,
think.
like main
Oh,
area.
yes, right near our famous hot springs. Incredible, aren't they?
They're
Um,
very hot.
Truly.
Yeah, what? Why
truly
is nobody
wonderful.
around there?
Oh, don't know. Please come, have tea, eat some food.
Well, we haven't eaten for like about a while, like approximately 3 weeks. No, I mean 6 hours. I don't remember.
Why is
3
everybody
hours.
out here and not over there?
Oh well, you see, I mean, the what kind of tea would you like? We have
Chai, please.
chai tea, of course.
And Sen has already sat down, like as if like this is his place, and is like
yeah,
eating like
he
a spring
pours
roll.
you some chai tea. And
Yeah,
you
you-
see, like, as he went back, he grabbed the basket that the little girl was carrying, and opening it up, he pulls out kind of like these steamed buns, and that are kind of wrapped in banana leaves, and hands one to you. Inside, there's like rice. It's kind of like a rice ball bun thing, and inside there's some veggies.
Wow, is it true you cook it with the steam?
We do, yes. Well, we typically we send someone in during the day, typically as early as we can muster, and they'll fetch the buns that we were cooking the day before, and then we'll leave another pack in there to cook over the next day.
Sen,
Hey,
like,
so
turns
are
to
you
guys
going
and
to answer
smiles.
my question or not?
Which question was that? He asks as he's pouring the tea for Sen. And, oh, you look like a chamomile, sort of person, so, and he goes and gets some chamomile tea and starts pouring it for Kondo.
Hey, what's? I mean, why are you not?
The little girl kind of tugs at your leg.
Hey, kid.
Hey, the spirits have kind of taken over the hot springs, and they've made it really hot, and we can't really live there anymore.
Okay. Well, I mean, you need some help? I know how to really sort of talk to spirits, or kind of.
Are you a
negotiate.
seer?
No, no. I've guided people through, the wilderness or whatever, the wilds. I know how to handle spirits who are just kind of angry, but nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, hey, can you please? And that's it.
I had a friend that came a while ago that
Yeah.
helped us with the spirits, but then when she left is when it got like this.
So they vacated for a little bit.
Well, no, we were having other problems with spirits. But then the Avatar talked to them and...
Wait, what? Avatar?
Oh, I wasn't supposed to... my friend talked to them and invited them to come, like, into the village and live with us, and it was really great, but then...
You met Unayo? What's she like?
She's really nice.
So Unayo came through and asked for you to coexist, and they didn't want that.
Well, no, it's... And what tea would you like?
Hey, actually, I have a few questions about the tea selection. I think Kondo's gonna very smoothly interject between Yi and this elderly gentleman and try to take him away while he's talking to the little girl.
Absolutely.
Would this be trick? Or
I do have a -2 to trick right now, but I could. I don't have any disguise, so it's gonna be. I'll have a -2 to this, but I will try it.
Okay, sounds
I
good.
use
Go
my extra
ahead
D6.
and try. You can use the extra D6 after. You can see how you do first.
So do I use creativity for this, or
supposedly, if we're saying it's
passion?
trick.
I would say creativity works.
Sure, this is me casually being like, I will like I've never had, like, I don't drink a lot of tea besides green tea, but I'm really curious about your tea selection because it sounds like you got a lot, like trying to like just steer it away. I will definitely, they're both threes. I will definitely use that D6.
So that's also -2. So it's actually
It'd be
4.
But one. Okay,
Oh.
amazing.
Oh, no.
So I got a 4. So I do have, that gives me one more tick in growth, which, but
Yeah, tragic. So he's like, "Oh yes, of course. Koya, come here. Help me show them our various teas." And the girl just kind of like smiles up at you, Yi, awkwardly, and then goes over to help the old man like get out all of the teas.
kind of just mouths, sorry.
He's gonna be like, the big shrug. So what can you do?
She pulls out kind of like another basket that has like little pouches full of various like herbs and leaves and other things. And I, as a person, don't know a lot about tea. So
Wow.
the
Wow.
old
Green
man,
tea, there's Earl Grey, there's chai,
I know
there's
jasmine.
pomegranate,
Jasmine
Black
chai.
I played a character based on a young Iroh that was a tea salesman, so I had to learn a lot. Like, what do you want to know?
Well,
what's the tea that
connoisseur.
like he finds a plant in the Earth Kingdom and he's like, "Oh, this is either delicious tea or deadly
Oh.
poison."
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's made up one. So 1 sec.
That's
Gotta
not
Google that
real
one.
tea. But the old man's like excitedly going through telling you about the wide selection of teas that are smoked, actually, because he's like selling it off, but you get the sense that it's simply because like they were in the town when like kind of this heat blast went through and started up, so they just got like pretty smoked from it.
I mean, if we need to get this person away for a little bit, you do have a person who literally got boiled alive. I feel like if I just go in and I'm like, "Can I get some help here?" I don't think he's gonna get the little girl to come help a person who's half boiled alive. So I feel like that's a solid way to get him away from this. So can I try to do this?
I
Oh
would
my gosh,
love for
wait,
you to
what?
try to do that. So
How did you get boiled alive? Did I miss that?
We
part?
were in there. Kia was the only one who failed the check.
yeah.
Oh.
So Kia, you definitely like your skin is
right.
pretty red.
Yeah.
Just from like I guess we'll say you're really close in proximity to that heat wave, and you just walk over and you're like, excuse me, can I get some help or something?
Whoa, sunburn.
And the old man is like, "Oh yes, of course we wouldn't want our guests to be uncomfortable. Please, gosh, what was her name again? Koya, help them get good tea. I'll follow me. And he takes you and it's like, "Oh, our local healer Lupe will know just how to treat you. He has some incredible ointments and various other things. You'll feel better in no time." And you two kind of like disappear down the wall, as the rest of you are left with this little girl, and she just kind of like looks at you awkwardly and looks back at the tea. He's like, "So this one's jasmine, and this one is like a green tea that I really like," and she just kind of keeps going off as she was told to do.
Whoa, Kondo. Nice not shirt. What happened?
Oh yeah, and they kind of lean back a little, not like purposely they're not trying to show off to Sen or anything, but Are there any other people besides this elderly person and
Yeah, old
Yes,
people
there-
and children.
Is there any like hot age appropriate people besides Yi?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
There aren't many people around your age.
Wait,
the-
how old's Kia?
21.
Okay, age appropriate. Okay, so besides Kia and Yi, who are the hot people?
The all-new 2021 Kia Sorento.
Boo.
Yeah, so this village skews very old or very young. But there are like a few people around like your age, and you've drawn some eyes, especially because the old man announced that you had visitors. There are a lot of curious glances kind of thrown your way, but currently you all are at like the tent, for lack of a better word, closest to the gate, which has like the teas and various other supplies. Further back, there are more like families and stuff sitting together, or people kind of hanging out and talking to one another. And yeah, just all of that stuff. A few people are working on various like crafts and trade skills.
Awesome. So I think like kind of do like a quick little scan around, but then look back to Sen and say,
How do I get those? How do I get them?
A lot of hard work, a lot of meditation, and a lot of crunches. You gotta do 100 squats a day. You gotta run 10 kilometers a day, and I think like 100 push-ups, something like that.
Okay.
That's what I heard
And
anyway.
He gets up and he like begins immediately.
Oh wait. God.
But yeah, my shirt. No, it was really hot, so I took it off.
The kid, by the way, just thought like the whole point was that you'd be able to ask more questions. Right now, they're just listing keys.
Yeah,
Hey,
absolutely.
Kid. So and he's going to try to talk to this little girl, and like get her, like make her stop listing off teas.
Yeah, did you want the white dragon bush? Which was the last one that she said.
That does sound interesting, but I think I'm more interested as to like why things are the way they are here. And I guess this has something to do with the Avatar leaving you guys and something happening, or is everything okay?
No, not really. I mean, we've been living out here for a while now. And I don't know when we'll get to go back, but Unayo, there's a big spirit staying in the hot springs that just keeps making it really hot, and that's making the town really hot, and so we can't really stay there. But we've been using it to like cook our food, and yeah, but other than that, we're just living out here right now. Some people have left and gone into the forest to try to get to another village and stay there, but
So there's just one big spirit that's hogging everything, making it hot.
There are other small spirits, but the small spirits are okay. It's the big spirit is the one making it really hot.
Okay.
99, 100. Okay, now to push-ups.
Wait, you only did like 5. Just because you're counting doesn't actually count towards.
I do want to point it towards like exercise is one of the few things that he has surprisingly good form on.
Yeah,
Like
he'd been trained all his life.
it's like he's not like buff or anything like that. He's not like even particularly strong. It's just like his force of will is such that he will push his body to a breaking point. And he goes like straight, he does like the claps like between the push-ups while he's going.
Oh my god. It's okay. We can do this a bit later. I think we got some stuff to handle in this town. We don't want to be exhausted.
Yeah, no, we'll probably go 5 kilometers just like you said.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Just
10,
stand there.
11, 12.
Hey, kids.
So there's a big spirit in the city, the village, who's basically causing all of this. Do you know what its name is?
Its name is Sinan.
Hey, that's like my name.
What's your name?
Zen.
It's a
So it's like-
synonym.
Ha, that's really good. Stop. You made me lose my count. I have to start over. 1, 2. So maybe we just 3. Maybe we just have to 4. Maybe we just have to talk to it, like you know, the great Avatar Aang did. You know, with the giant hand.
The Avatar is supposed to be like the bridge between us and the spirits, but you're not the. It was things were good when she was here, but then they had to leave.
Did they say why? 8.
Her brother said that they can't stay in one place for too long.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's true. They're somewhere different every time the show comes on.
Do you?
11.
She like perks up a little bit. She's like, "Do you listen to Avatar Unayo and Friends?"
Every time it's on, I'm the biggest fan in the whole world.
It's mostly true. At least our episode was.
It was?
No,
When did that episode
but
air?
it was really great, right?
Tell me all about it. Like he's like, I can
man.
repeat the whole thing to you. And like he starts like narrating it out in like script form, like exterior day.
Oh gosh.
Like,
Oh, kid.
She's all about it. She's really excitedly listening.
he does like he does all the voices. Like, hey friends, it's me, Avatar Unayo. We're back on another adventure. Like, sort of similar to Dora the Explorer, I guess.
I think while Stan is talking to the girl, is Kia still around, or did Kia go with the elderly gent?
I went with the guys so that you can ask all the questions of the child.
Yeah.
This is why I made like the joke you hear from the ether.
Yeah. Okay. So I think Kondo will go up to Yi and say, "So, like, I've been trying for most of my life to get in contact with more of the spirits and do, you know, what some of the other air nomads can, but we can try talking to this thing."
Yeah, because I only know how to deal with like anger, like make angry spirits not angry.
Well, maybe if we turn that sort of logic around and like use whatever you use to make not angry spirit or angry spirits not angry. No, we don't want to make them angry.
No, I don't know.
Wait, actually, could I try rely on your skills and training for him to be repeating like Avatar Unayo's plan in the radio show episode? Like whether it's
my gosh. Oh my gosh, actually that'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
okay. If he fails, I guess I'll say that he stumbles and like gets really upset that he messed up even the tiniest bit.
Gives us a completely different plan.
Oh
Or
my
you have to
gosh.
come up with a plan.
I guess so.
No.
Okay.
What detail do you mess up? I'm curious.
Let's say that he messes up, like he probably would remember the broad strokes, but I'm going to guess that he messes up maybe where she went. like like which path she followed to get there. Like I'm not sure. Maybe it was a different spirit though.
Okay. No, actually, no, they didn't go down the road. They went through the trees. They didn't follow the road.
Oh no.
Uh,
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to mess up. And he gets like really upset for some reason.
No, it's okay.
Uh,
The episode was really they didn't they just said that they left. They didn't give a lot of detail. But they went like, and she like grabs your hand and like goes and like runs down the wall to show you like where into the forest they went when they
Yep.
left.
Okay. And he follows along.
Yeah, she just grabs your hand while you're doing push-ups and you kind of like fall a little bit, and I imagine like stand up and kind of chase after her.
Yeah.
The path they took is not a path at all. It's literally just brush and trees. It's completely overtaken by nature. But she says, "This is here." And she leans down and picks up like this blue kind of like shimmering stone. She's like, "I put this here to remember."
What is that? Does it remind Sen in any way of the shard, the white shard in his pocket?
No.
Or is it just a glowing stone?
It's like a stone that shimmers like blue.
Okay. So what do? Do we just go straight, or like do we follow more stones, like a treasure map?
Oh, no, this is the only one I left, just so I could remember. But, and she, like, leans down and places it back. They left, a while ago, so I don't think we could really follow them.
Oh, yeah, right. The Avatar took on a different spirit than the one we'd be talking about, right?
Yeah.
Whoops. Well, thank you for showing me.
Yeah.
I'm
Kondo
Sen,
and...
he says awkwardly, "I'm Sen."
Oh, hi, I'm Koya. And she shakes your hand.
Yeah, even though they already
Enthusiastically.
said it. Yeah.
Well, she didn't say her name. The old man said her name.
Oh, okay.
But, Kondo and Yi, did you follow after them when they ran away, or what are you two doing?
I don't think Kondo did.
Yeah.
I think Kondo stayed. And they look to Yi and say, "So I think maybe if we go in really confidently, like, I mean, if we just emanate the essence of wanting to deal with the spirit, I think we could do it. Maybe we could convince it just to steam up the place when people asked."
I don't know. The making it hotter and hotter. It seems like it doesn't want people around. We also have to worry about like, it getting too hot for us.
Well, I mean, so this might be a little bit dangerous, and there's a chance that it's gonna cause like a tornado, but I could just kind of
What?
because hot air rises and cold air comes down, that sort of thing. So I could pull more of the cold air just to have it around us
All right.
and maintain it.
And that causes
It could cause like a tornado, potentially. Like with just the influx of like heat and cold together really fast.
so
I'll try to maintain things, don't worry.
All right. Well,
I'll try to maintain it.
all right. I trust
What was
you.
it? Okay,
I think.
I trust you too. No, smile.
Yeah, so we go in there and we're really confident, and we don't make a tornado. And what as soon as we just say, "Hey, friend."
Well,
We
how
don't-
do you calm down angry spirits?
with bending.
What? I don't think I've seen you bend yet.
I haven't had to.
What kind of bending do you do?
She'll lean on one side like this.
That's good bending. I mean,
Oh, I get it now.
Thank you.
How are things going with Kia, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I was about to jump over
Oh,
there.
I'm sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. So, Kia, you were taken to the local healer, Lupe. Seeing you as you're kind of brought to his tent, he's currently sitting with a young boy, maybe about like 6 or 7, who like scraped his knee, and is putting like an ointment on it and everything. And then he looks over to you and seems a little bit surprised, and the old man is like, "Oh, we have visitors, Lupe. Visitors. Here. I'm sorry, I didn't learn your name."
Kia, pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Kia here, and he kind of like slaps you on the back gently, not too hard to.
Ah!
Ooh, I'm sorry.
My skin.
Kia here got burned a little bit in the town. Could you help them out? And Lupe's like, yeah, of course. Here, go on. And the kid like stands up and like runs off and like falls again and scrapes his other knee, but like runs off and isn't worried about it. And the guy just rolls his eyes, and Old Man Bo is like, "I trust that I can leave them in your care." And Lupe is like, yeah, of course, Old Man Bo. Go off and do your thing. He's like, all right, and he starts like going back towards where the others were. And
No.
The healer kind of like beckons you over and is like looking at the various like burns on your body. Kind of reaches behind him to this cabinet where he's got a jar and pulls it out and starts applying the salve on your arms and everything's like, so it's like, what brings you to town? I mean, it's nice to have visitors, don't get me wrong, but we haven't had any since Una and Daro were here. And even then, that's been quite a while. Travel's not that easy, and who would want to visit a small village like ours, normally?
Well, I had a friend of mine. They told me that this place would be a good place for a pit stop. You know, along a long journey, get some good food. Say you steam your food in the hot springs. Honestly, that sounded pretty good. And I came here hoping, to steam some food I make in the hot springs. And safe to say, it's steamed, and Kia would like pull a cabbage roll that's like out of their pocket that wasn't cooked but is now.
Yeah.
Oh.
He chuckles a little bit and he's like, yeah, well, place is good for steaming food, and people. Gotta be careful. We can give you a place of rest and get you food, but unfortunately, the hot springs are a little out of commission, as you may have been able to tell.
Yes, which brings me to a question. What's that all about?
Well, we had some problems between ourselves and the spirits during the reclaiming. The reforming. They didn't necessarily like that we had a wall up. They took it as an aggression, and we lost some people. Others were turned into... gonna have to find this word again. Da, 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 da. Sorry for forgetting my words that I made up.
How can you not remember your made-up words?
How could I not remember my made-up words? This is
You're fired.
ridiculous.
You, ma'am, are not George R.R. Martin.
Some became spirit touched and left. Some died, but then things calmed down. There was still some tension. We were apprehensive, but then Una and Runo came, and Una was able to talk to the spirits. She's very good calming the spirits. Probably one of the more successful sages or seers that I've ever seen. And they stayed for a time, and the spirits came and lived with us, and things were good. But after they left, another spirit came, a larger spirit, and it took up residence in the hot springs and has made them as they are now.
And has that spirit, do you know, kind of at this point, like putting the ointment on and kind of healing, they're like, do you by chance know what that one needs then? You see, the first one wanted to get rid of the wall. Is that still the goal of this larger one? Or does it have other motives to your knowledge?
No, it seems this spirit is a bit more sedentary. It simply likes to find places and rest in them, and we're hoping eventually it will go off to find another place to rest, but it's been around a year now, and that hasn't happened.
But I remember my friend, when they mentioned this place, they mentioned it having multiple hot springs. Do you think that it would be possible to perhaps get it to move to another one? I mean, it must surely be as annoying to it that it would constantly be interrupted as it would be to you that it is in your hot spring, the one particularly in the middle of town.
Well, we haven't tried talking to it very much. Most of the times as we try to get close, we get burned. And the closer people have gotten, the more burned they are. So eventually, we've grown comfortable out here, and we don't want to risk ourselves any more than we already have. There are a number of hot springs, but they're all centered in the one area. There are some other hot springs, and he kind of like points back up like a small like mountain. There's some, or I guess like almost like a cliff. It's just kind of like a craggy like hill or something. There's some other hot springs higher up there that we were potentially hoping to convince it to go to. It's a little further away. I imagine we'd still feel a bit of the heat while it's there, but perhaps not so much that we couldn't live in our homes. But again, we can't get close enough, and when we've tried to call out to it, we don't receive a response.
I look at the hill and I imagine that it actually looks nice. Like I can like kind of can kind of transport themselves into that, and thinking, you know, you're sitting on the in the hot springs and you're overlooking all this vast expanse, and they're thinking like they can try and convince the spirit of this actually seems like a nice place. And they turn to the person, they kind of look at the ointment that they have been putting on them, and does the ointment actually make them feel better?
It's like aloe, basically. So it feels really cool, and it feels really nice on the burns, but it's not like instantaneously healing you or anything.
What what Kia would think is they would kind of see the aloe, and they would see the banana leaves. And I want to ask if I can make like a voluntary creativity check to see if
Okay.
they like come up with an idea that I that I have for them. No, they don't. They just look at them and they're like, something can work here, but I'm just not quite what I don't quite know what it is.
Mhm.
So, some perhaps no, that doesn't work, and they just kind of turn around and they say, well, we should, there must be a way to get close to it. I mean, you say that the avatar the seer, my character actually wouldn't be sure if they're the avatar or not yet. The seer that was coming through.
This person very particularly did not say the avatar or
Yeah, that's
refer
why
to them
I
as such.
corrected
Yeah,
it to. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, that's why I corrected it to the seer. The seer you mentioned, how did they get close?
This spirit wasn't here when Una and Daro were here. The spirit came after they left.
This, it is very intriguing, the sudden movement of the spirit and how you'd try to get close to it. I saw a little girl that was collecting, I believe, food from near the springs.
Koya, yes, she was generally, the younger ones are a little more adaptable to the heat, so they'll take turns going in to get the food. And it was her turn today.
Child labor.
All right, Sin. Bye, Sin.
At this point, kind of Kea, knowing what they're like thinking of, they know that there is a hill. They know that this hill is like has an amazing view, and like they can try and converse. They can try and convince the like the spirit to move over there, and they kind of feel like there isn't much else to ask, so they're just going to basically, as they finish like rubbing the ointment on them and getting ready to potentially like go back to their friends and tell them this information, they're going to turn to the person and say, well, I've asked you many questions. Is there anything you'd like to ask me? Anything you'd like help with?
I'm afraid that there's not much I can ask of you. I'm very grateful, and we're all very grateful for the offer of help, but please don't trouble yourselves. You said that this was to be a pit stop. Where are you heading?
That is a difficult question. To be honest, I'm not very sure myself. We are following a few tidbits of information, Yeah, you know how it is in this world. You look for where you can make a living, wherever that may be.
Of course, yes. It's hard today being travelers, I imagine. People are so just accustomed to their villages and their communities that I don't imagine people coming from outside is always met with hospitality as it once was.
That is true. Although I did not live in the old days prior to this, I did hear that it was a better place to be. Lots of cynicism grew.
Yes, it was certainly easier in those days than it is now. Well, I don't want to keep you. Just let the ointment rest on your skin for a while, and then you can wash it off when the burns have cooled sufficiently. But if you need anything else, please, by all means, feel free to ask.
Of course, thank you very much. I'll head off and meet with the rest of my group. And by all means, if you or anybody else also needs anything, know that I owe you one, and I would be more than happy to help.
Okay. Thank you. He like bows a little bit as he's sitting on the ground. And you head back towards the group. Kondo and Yi, the old man has returned, and he's like, so what teas did you decide to try?
I think I'm gonna go with green. It's what I'm used to.
Classic choice. Incredible.
Yeah,
And
I think there's something about like a white dragon something.
White dragon beard.
Yeah, something like
the white dragon bush tea, of
Oh,
course.
yeah.
It is an incredibly delectable tea. There is a chance, and I do have to say this, it is possible that it is not in fact the rare white dragon bush tea, but it could also be poison. There is a poisonous plant that looks quite very similar, and while I very much trust the talents of my fellow townspeople to know the difference between the two, I do want to be sure that you're aware that there is a danger in partaking of this brew.
maybe just green tea. Yeah.
Of course, green tea. Perfect for you both. I think I'll have a cup of green tea for myself.
Yeah.
Oh. Did you eat? Would you like some food? We have plenty.
Yeah, actually, that would be really nice.
Of course. Sit. And he finishes
Okay.
pouring the teas and like places them at different spots on the table, and takes some banana wrapped rice balls out of, or banana leaved wrapped rice balls out of the basket, and hands one to each of you and has one for himself.
And then boom, like she's shooting him out of the water, and it's like super cool. Like they use all of the elements at the same time to make this big bomb. And what's your favorite episode? You hear like Sen's voice already as they're coming back from wherever they ran off to.
Yeah, and I think Kia will like see Sen and this little girl as well talking, and you'll all get back around the same time just for convenience sake of the story.
Yeah, you're going to see this like basically like almost porcelain white from all the ointment. Person just
like
walking around very awkwardly.
Yeah.
Oh my
I've been there.
goodness. Are you okay?
You're really shiny.
Oh gosh.
You feel better?
I'll be fine. I've had worse.
They're absolutely going to be fine. There's no finer healer than our Lupe. And the ointment he makes is incredible. You'll be feeling much better very, very soon. So, I must know, what brings you into town? Where are you going? Where are you from? And
The hot
he goes
springs.
and
Wow, Kaya, you look like a big egg. That's cool. Hi, hi, I'm Sen. He says to the old man again.
oh, hello, son. I am.
So are you
they
like
call
the
me
mayor?
Old Man Bo.
Are you like the mayor or something?
Oh, we don't have mayors or leaders. People do look to me as a bit of a elder type in this place.
Is that why you're
I
trying
try to take care of things, take care of people. Not many remember the old ways of taking care of our visitors. So when we do get visitors, I try to care for them the best I can. The last time we had visitors, actually, and he takes a quick sip of tea, was when what were the names of those two? And
The Avatar? The Avatar and your
No.
brother?
he looks very confused. He's like, no, we're just spirit seers. And he looks over towards the little girl, and he's like, yeah, no, they were just spirit seers. They, Una and Daro. Una and Daro, yes. We welcomed them into our village, and I laid out all the finery that we had available to them, and they very much enjoyed their time. They stayed with us almost an entire week, and for our hospitality, they even spoke to the spirits for us and calmed some tensions there. Of course, after they left, we had some more troubles arise, as you can tell.
Oh,
but...
is that why you tried to not talk about it for like the first 30 minutes we were here? And like try to get people to not talk about it also?
I'm just trying to make you feel welcome. I'm trying to make sure that you're comfortable, and of course I would have talked to you about everything had we all sat down and eaten a meal together. And
oh, I already ate like 3 rice buns.
Oh, I'm very glad you've been fed. Please come sit. Would you like any tea? And he looks towards you, Kia.
Yeah. Well, I'll have just some black tea. And they basically start pulling the now steamed cabbage rolls and say, "I'm good on food."
Yeah, so he'll pour you a delectable black tea.
It's just cabbage rolls all the way down.
Yeah.
I like the idea that you have like a trench coat and you just open it and it's full
You
of
want a cabbage rolls?
What are you buying? Yeah, how many cabbage rolls do you think that you have on your person?
Well, I make a few along the way, a few here, a few there, and
You make them?
get some every opportunity I can to cook them. I was hoping to cook my next batch in the steams, and I have to say it was successful, although not exactly the way I wanted it to be cooked.
What's inside the cabbage rolls? I never asked.
Cabbage?
Oh. What's inside the cabbage roll?
What? Did I make a mistake, guys? Should I
I thought
not
it
have
was-
asked?
I thought it was capitalism inside those.
High grade, top shelf capitalism inside the cabbage rolls. No, it's basically
I'm too young to understand that joke. You'll have to.
it's like they actually unfurls one of them, and you see inside is like rice and diced vegetables, along with a few things like kale and such, like a few kind of leafy greens, and they're all in this like reddish sauce, and the cabbage is like made into like a bun around them. There is no cabbage inside the cabbage roll, just around the cabbage roll.
Where did you get the sauce? Do you have like all the raw ingredients just in different pockets?
How many pockets do you have in those?
Glad you asked. And they pull like a small bag that just has a bunch of red sauce in it.
That
They're
seems like
that's the one thing I can't always make on the road.
And
that
it,
seems really heavy.
and it won't spoil? What's the
spoiling
shelf
gives
life?
it a bit of taste.
Oh,
No.
hey, I have an idea. Can you pass me those bags for a second?
Oh no.
Don't worry. I'm
Which
not gonna.
bags?
Just all of them.
Oh, wait, all of the cabbage roll bags?
Okay, so what I can do is I can like take all the air out of them so they're like properly preserved.
Ah.
They pass everything to you.
It
Yeah,
also
I
might-
want to like vacuum seal all these bags, please.
Wow, it also crushes them too. What a good idea.
No, you let the air back in and it kind of just, revitalizes itself.
Yeah, exactly. We're
I totally have had experience with the...
Considering most cloth bags don't have a vacuum seal, this may be really hard.
It could be...
Are you gonna say plastic?
No, I was gonna say
I
like
was literally imagining
bladder,
plastic bags this entire
an
time.
animal bladder.
What? An animal?
Yeah.
like
Animal cruelty?
sheepskin.
Maybe flying bison skin. Am I right?
Oh no!
I would never.
No.
I would never. No,
Kondo,
no, no,
roll,
no, I
roll
would
me.
never.
What?
Kondo, roll me a focus check to see
Yeah, I
if
would
you can
love.
seal these really well.
I'm
You
so
either
good at
vacuum
focus.
seal or make a bagpipe.
So Kondo
Oh,
attempts.
my food is gone! My cabbage rolls!
So you're all back to
Cabbage rolls.
What if it like goes inside out? Like you vacuum
I
pack
think-
it so much that it goes.
I think what Kondo does is they try to vacuum seal one of them, but like they suck the air too hard, and all the contents just comes out and just explodes like all on their face.
Oh no.
They're like,
You gonna eat that?
Kaya, are you okay?
"You want some?" They like pull their finger up
A-
towards.
As you look to Kaya, they literally have like this expression on their face.
Guys like, guys like, I lost my home. Now I'm losing my cabbage rolls.
Wait, I can like pick them up. We can like wash them off.
Let's
One-
reassemble them.
I'm just
Oh,
gonna
don't-
wipe it off my face.
Don't worry. Here, have some rice balls. And he offers you a banana leaf wrapping Kia.
Medicinal.
Kia takes it and kind of like with their mouth open, just
Love it.
pushes their mouth shut.
Yeah.
Maybe-
Perfect.
sorry.
Maybe you could wrap this leaf around it, and it's like a very pathetic, like wilted leaf, and he like holds it up as the most intact one. Like I tried to wash it off with my tea.
Oh, for a second I thought you said teeth. I was like,
And
oh.
they just
Yeah, that's
put
what
the
I
leaf
thought.
I
on
said
the
t-
Trying
said
to
teeth.
suck all the soap off of it.
Yeah, not teeth. Tea.
Ugh.
So-
I'm so sorry.
Just a
Hearing all
thought.
these conversations and stuff, the man addresses you all. So, are you all new companions traveling together for the first time?
Wow,
Please-
how did you know?
Oh, you
Oh,
all
no.
seem new to one another. Please, tell me, where are you from? Where are you going? Besides, I mean,
Where did you
of
come
course you
from?
came to see the hot springs, but I imagine you're going elsewhere as well.
Well, you see this kid, like, he's obsessed with that Avatar show and wanted to
Sure
come here
am.
because the Avatar came here, according to the show.
Avatar and friends, I do lend my radio to young Koya here every night so that she can listen.
Oh,
It's
this
a
is
show for
nightly
kids
thing?
and adults alike. Every night at the same time.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't-
Yes.
I don't know that many of the rest of us watch, but Koya does enjoy it quite a bit, and
You're
he
missing
just
out.
kind of smiles.
Yeah,
It's-
I've never...
He's like a brony. He's like a brony for this show. essentially. Except like for the actual target demographic, that makes him not a brony, I guess. Weird.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, kind of. No, I don't know. There's like a whole Tumblr thing on it, and I watched a video about it. I don't know.
Is Zen
Bro-
going to
bronies are a different
eventually
class.
cosplay as the Avatar?
Depends
I
on
love the
on-
outfit changes for it.
Yeah,
Go to
yeah.
Avatar Con. He's the
Oh,
biggest fan. He should start the Avatar Con.
Yeah, maybe.
Future plot idea.
Anyway, so old man, yeah, we're trying to hit all the different places.
Oh,
I was
well,
trying to find the Avatar.
please feel free to stay and rest here as long as you would like. You're more than welcome, of course. But yes, I imagine the hot springs are temporarily unavailable at the moment. I'm sure that they'll be ready again any day now. But
We'd be happy to go and try and address the issue for you.
oh no, we can't ask you to do that. It's far too dangerous. But
Yeah,
that is
kind of-
very very kind of you.
Kia kind of perks up and says, "But I have to say, looking at that springs over in that hill, I'm really convinced that if we go there, it's a better view and it would be better for everyone. It wouldn't be in the village." And they
Yeah.
kind of point at where the healer pointed at.
Yes. Some of the members of our community brought that up as well, but unfortunately, they tried to go and speak with the spirit and ask it to move, and they were burned rather badly. See, so we haven't really been able to talk to it once more, but we are a very hospitable people. We do not mind sharing our village with the spirit until it decides to move on. I'm sure it'll move on any day now.
Can I because Conda's getting a little bit suspicious of this person, based on how much they're avoiding this.
Yeah, do you mind if I assist in whatever check?
It's, if you can, yeah, there's they're gonna see just if their eyes are darting around. Conda's getting a feeling that they have something to do with why the spirit's here. So I think Conda's gonna lean in and say, look, a lot of us, make mistakes from time to time, especially with the spirits. They used to be, all kind of riled up, and now they're more calm. Now, there's little things that sometimes can get them really upset, and it's no one's fault at all. This sort of thing happens. It happens all the time. But if, for example, someone might have gotten the spirit angry and made it vengeful against your people, what might have happened to instigate it? Not throwing anyone under the bus, but...
Oh, I assure you, I have no possible idea. As far as I'm aware, the spirit simply arrived here after Una and Daro left, shortly after, perhaps a day or two later. Unfortunately, if they had still been here, I'm sure that they would have been able to speak to the spirit. Very, very talented seers. The pair of them, in fact, especially the young girl, Una.
The Avatar.
And Sen, you see the girl kind of side eye you, that's not information you're supposed to share. You remember that she apologized when she let it slip and said she wasn't supposed to say that.
Okay, well, I guess Sen is slightly smarter than this, so he finally clamps his hand over his mouth.
No,
so excited about it.
Just seers. Can you imagine the Avatar visiting? That would be incredible. In fact.
Sure can. I'm really imaginative.
Can I do some sort of... I don't know what would be the equivalent of an insight check again.
That would be assess the situation. Oh, sorry, Emma. I just know all the rules.
You're
wow.
Gucci. No, I appreciate the help.
Let's see. Assess the situation. Is that watch a foe?
No,
What?
that is...
There's a lot.
It's called assess the situation. It's a basic move.
Wait, where is that?
Oh, okay.
Basic moves.
Where the hell?
Assess the situation. You roll with creativity.
There it is.
Okay, I couldn't. Oh, now I see where it is. The drop
You have
down
to,
was
yeah, you have to
hidden.
do the, yeah.
Okay, yes. I would like to assess the situation, please.
Okay.
And thank you.
Yep.
Mixed.
Okay.
All right.
I get
so
one question.
you get to ask one question, and
Yeah.
you have a list of example
See
questions
this list
there.
here. Yeah. Let's see. I'm wondering.
Well, do you mind if I read them out for our VOD viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. The VOD viewers
ahead
that
while
you
I
care
decide.
about.
Yeah, I do
Not
care
the
about
live
the VOD viewers.
viewers.
The live viewers.
Can eat a white jade bush.
Whoa.
Ooh.
I wouldn't go that far. Well, no. So the questions are: what here can I use to blank? Who or what is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my best way in, out, or through? And the last one is who or what is in the biggest danger? So, yeah,
I would like to ask, what here can I use to leverage an answer a proper answer out of this guy.
A proper answer to
My question's about like the spirit itself and like the effects that maybe someone might have had on it in this village to make it so mad.
Like, is there any particular one of us that he might be more like
Either
helpful
someone in
to?
particular or like something I could like something I noticed that I could say, something that I could point out.
Flex your muscles or
Yeah. I'm shirtless.
So
maybe it's putting on a shirt. Maybe he's uncomfortable with like that kind
Intimidated. So intimidated he's like, oh, I can't stand up to this guy.
I think this is hard because rather than answer your question, I'm going to provide you with a different answer.
Oh.
And that he is telling the truth. He's not. You do not get the sense that he's hiding something. Like he's at fault for the spirit coming or anything. As far as he is aware, the spirit just arrived, and set up residence in the village.
So he's just a lonely old man that's
He's
really
just
talkative?
A lonely old man that's very talkative,
gosh.
trying to be overly welcoming to visitors. The first visitors their village has had in a year.
Got it. Okay.
So it's been. Do we know that?
Yeah, they mentioned that it's been a year.
So it's been a year since the Avatar's been there, essentially.
Yeah.
The seer.
Kondo
Seems
kind
really
of debates on that. Yeah.
The banana leaves, like since I interacted with them, and I think at this point I'm gonna take down the better idea to a slightly worse idea.
Is
I
it
think
making
that's
like
as good
armor
as-
out of banana leaves?
Like if you put a shield, since the spirit seems from Emma's description to kind of like push hot steam around. So if you make like a shield out of it, because initially I was thinking you could actually cover yourself with it and have a layer of the aloe-like substance, which would have actually been like I think that would have worked as long as you're like covering your face or something like that. But since I failed that creativity roll, the second option is maybe we can like make a sort of shield so that we can be behind it so whenever the steam shows up.
Can I offer a suggestion that one of you would be very aware of? You all would have a much easier time getting up to the spirit because you have an airbender with you.
I did mention that plan earlier.
Yes, and you can bend away some of the steam and air as it's coming towards you.
The shield as a backup plan.
You could have a shield as a backup plan, absolutely. You can think of what to make the shield out of. As you all are sitting there thinking about the best way to approach this situation, I think we're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a quick break for a few minutes, go pee, get some water, do what you need to do, get some stretchies in, and we will be right back. So yeah, we'll see you soon. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. We are gonna jump right back in. Our group has come to the town of Kaohsiung and expected to find like some amazing hot springs that they could relax in, and some great food, and they have found that all is not quite as peachy as they thought it would be. A spirit has taken up residence in the hot springs and has basically pushed the villagers out of the town with the heat that it's generating. And now the group has learned a few different things, and they're coming up with some plans, and we're gonna jump right back into it. We open up the scene once more with Old Man Bo sitting there talking about life in the old days and like the village at its prime and all of this other stuff, while drinking tea and pouring you all more tea, and he just is going on and 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 on.
Sen
and
has
on.
fallen asleep by this point. It's been like a day, so he's just like literally sleeping now.
Sen is asleep next to the
Yeah,
table.
Kia would actually be working on the shield, like kind of trying to put together the banana leaves so that they're like made into a shield, and they're going to kind of lean over while like the old man is talking to Kondo and be like, but if we have a shield, wouldn't you not have to do as much effort to keep the steam from just getting through the sides? I mean, it would be better than you having to push all of it away.
Well, I could do like basically a bubble, which is just like maintaining an area around us instead of just doing a forward-facing shield. It'd just be like a bubble.
Would you be able to maintain that throughout the whole entire interaction?
Oh yeah, I'm a great airbender.
Okay. All right.
They said
Well,
confidently.
I don't know why you're dating me, but don't worry.
Yeah,
Well,
it's-
I don't know anything about airbending, so
It's
I-
not like you
Whereas
messed
I
up like
know
2
lots.
minutes ago.
I was
Yeah.
just too powerful, okay? Too powerful for those cabbage rolls.
Kia, can you roll creativity or focus for me, whichever you feel is more appropriate, for how the construction of your advanced safety features are going?
All right, this is gonna be the safest thing ever, regardless of my role. Look
I
at
think
this.
we did
Mixed
establish that
success.
Kia has needle and thread because he was fixing his pants.
Yeah, this is just like, just to see how it's all going. So you're able to make a like pretty good shield. That may not like last the intensity of the heat the entire time, but you think it can protect you like at least a little bit.
Yeah, it is ultimately a contingency plan. Like the idea is I'd have it, and if like something happens to the bubble or the steam is too much or a little bit or is getting through, drop the shield so that you'd basically have a contingency plan. So I think Kia is seeing that it's good enough. And Kia fully trusts Kondo. There is no way, 0% chance that Kondo's gonna mess this up. I 100% faith. So I'm just, I'm good enough. I'm not working on it anymore. It's perfect. It's just a contingency plan. Plus, Kondo never gonna mess up. I never saw Kondo mess up. Never.
Exactly.
I'm just too
What?
powerful.
No, not even like just 2 minutes ago.
Too
Never
powerful.
This wasn't
Thank
Kondo.
you.
That was the spirits. The spirits did this. It's never failed.
So
Something was in my eyes.
So what is your all's plan? When are you gonna try to head into the town? Are you gonna stop Old Man Bo from talking and be like, we're gonna go, or what you doing?
I'd say
Coldest
like
at night.
politely, have that meal that he's offered, and then be like, well, we are going to go. Thank you, sir. Like, I think that's what we should do.
Oh yes, of course, it's totally fine. We very much enjoyed you staying with us, and we hope you've enjoyed your time here.
Yes, thank you for your hospitality.
Of course, we are nothing if not hospitable here in our village.
I think Kondo will get up at that and give the elderly person a little bit like, oh, wait, and be like, yeah, we're just gonna go like nighttime walk for a bit. Be good.
Yeah, I do like the
Little
idea
stroll.
that this old man has been talking to you the entire day.
Yeah, up
Yeah.
to the evening.
Yeah.
That's my headcanon.
That is what I was imagining.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
Perfect.
that's the case, can I make the argument that Sen, he is still asleep, gets to heal a fatigue?
Oh,
It's okay if I
no.
can't. All
When
right,
did
fair
you-
enough.
How do you,
Yes.
sorry, quick question. How do you get rid of conditions?
Conditions
Well,
go away between sessions.
There's a whole part.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
I wouldn't
do.
have had that -2 then. Oh well.
Oh,
Doesn't matter.
uh-oh.
I still failed. It's cool.
also, there's another way of getting rid of them called comfort and
Yeah.
support.
Yep.
Yeah. Somebody can comfort and support you, or there are certain actions relating to every condition that you can do to get rid of the condition. So for example, I know angry because it's something my character actually gets like as part of one of its skills, and you can get angry to help with other stuff. And to get rid of angry, for example, you need to do something to relieve that anger. So like smashing something that's important to the party would allow you to get rid of the condition in the middle of the session. So there's
Gotcha.
certain actions you can do. Somebody can comfort and support you, or it just goes away between sessions.
Cool. Good to know. Good to know. So I wouldn't have had that foolish marking. I could try to impersonate another spirit, but I'm not going to.
All
I
right.
bet you
Also,
feel pretty foolish right now for forgetting about how foolish you are.
I'm foolish again. That's
So
good.
yes, between sessions, as long as it's not a like to be continued cliffhanger thing of like, oh, somebody's about to attack you or something like that, and then the next session we pick up with like a fight. Generally between episodes, your fatigue and your conditions will reset. But yes. So, you all get up. I imagine someone wakes Sen up.
Who wakes
Yeah.
Sen up?
Yeah, you will. Oh, unless Kaya does it first. Or Kia.
No, it's fine. You can wake them up. I was just going to ask, would the ointment have worked that it would heal a fatigue, or which just it makes me feel better but doesn't heal anything?
It just makes you feel better, but it doesn't mechanically do anything.
Perfect.
Hey, Kit, are you coming?
Hey, Sen. The Avatar's here.
What?
Oh, good, you're awake.
Hi. Hello. You're still
Hey.
not wearing a shirt.
No, I'm not.
Oh, it's about to get hotter. What's the point?
I mean,
Hotter.
kind of like thinks about
It's
something.
about to get steamy.
Yeah.
That's
Real
really good.
steamy.
So are we going? Are we gonna? He
Yeah.
finally gets up and
Yeah.
starts walking.
Yeah, we're gonna make. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some cold air. I'm gonna bring it down, and I'm gonna make us a little bubble to keep out the hot air and the steam and stuff like that. A little air shield for us. We're gonna put on some banana leaves just in case it breaks through, and then we're gonna try to maybe talk to the spirit, get it to go. What did you say, Kia? Go up.
To a spring up the hills. It should have a better view and everything.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll just tell it a nice story about the spring up the hill. Get it to move there.
And what if it says, "This is my land. I've lived here for 1,000 years. You guys better get off my property."
Well, I mean, technically it moved in the last year,
Oh,
so we can make that argument.
there.
Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah.
I should mention, and they kind of, can you see the hill? Was it just something from the healing place, or can anybody see the hill?
You can see the hill kind of like beyond the town. It's very noticeable, but you probably can't see directly like the hot springs like up like near the top of it.
I would point like Kia would point at it and say, "This is better a better place. If I was
Oh.
a spirit, to be honest.
Oh, I
I'll
get
go
it. We
there
can lie
instead of
to it.
here.
I see.
It's not lying.
No.
It is not a
Wait.
lie.
So if
Kia
that's if that's a better place, what if the spirit's like, hey, why don't the humans go there? I'm here.
Well, a spirit can easily move around. Humans would have to move their entire settlement up there. It would be I feel like it would be a pretty fair trade. You get a better place, the humans get a worse place, but it's just because they live around here, so that it's not easy for them to move. I feel
Ow.
like we have a solid argument here.
Okay.
Spirits do like arguments. Let's go.
Oh god.
All
right.
right. So as we're like heading out, Kondo will create an air bubble to accommodate the four of them. Filled with like much cooler air, especially since it's nighttime, kind of pulling the air, trying to siphon out the heat, and trying to just make it very cool in this bubble.
Okay. Give me the focus roll to end all focus rolls.
Okay.
Mechanically,
So-
this is called rely on your skills.
I was just gonna say I'm relying on my skills and training for this,
Okay.
because I am skilled in airbending. So,
We're the VOD viewers at home.
Mm,
jeez.
miss.
Oh, no.
Love
It
it.
never
Don't
fails.
you?
No.
Love
fails.
it.
Is
Too cold.
So I know that it says like help after the roll. I'm not sure. Like, can I help now? Was I supposed to help before? I'm very confused.
no, it's after the
when
roll.
you
The
take-
help action. When you take an appropriate action to help a companion, mark 1 fatigue to give them +1 to their roll. In parentheses, after the roll. You can't do that
Okay.
in combat.
Okay.
There's a whole different mechanic for helping people in combat.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh
So
yeah.
So how do you
So what I
imagine
would
you
say-
help Kondo airbend?
So I would imagine that to like the way I help Kondo is not to help her particularly or help him particularly like air bend. It's just that I would like tell people like to get closer together. So basically, I would imagine that we would have been walking normally, and then I see Kondo and they're just like bringing all the air around, and it's just we're too far apart that it's like it's too much work. So Kia, noticing that, kind of tells everyone to get closer together, so that Kondo doesn't have like they don't have to do as much effort and can concentrate. And with a +1, I believe that would make it a mixed success instead of a miss.
This is
Important
true.
question.
Yeah.
Which of you gets close to Kondo?
It's all of you. You're all close to me.
oh, yeah, wouldn't
Okay.
we all be huddled around Kondo?
Up.
Yeah.
Sen jumps
Oh,
on
sweaty.
Kia's shoulder.
I think in this and for this, Kondo will kind of move to the back, and they're making these motions where one of their hands is kind of going over top of the other, and they're making these clockwise and counterclockwise motions in order to maintain this. And you can all feel that the air is flowing around you. Your hair is constantly moving. It just feels like a constant breeze. But Kondo is extremely focused on this. Like, if they break concentration on this, they feel like this bubble is going to burst. And I feel like that might work into the whole fact that it is a mixed success.
That's clever.
So I know it says that, like, I don't know if you still want to tell me how it might lead to unexpected consequences later, but
Oh boy.
No, I'll
maybe
just
it's because
surprise
of the
you with that.
concentration. Okay.
Mm.
So Kondo is very concentrated, like they're not doing anything else but focusing on this.
Yeah, because of the wind whipping around, Yee's hair is just getting all over the place. And so finally she decides to tie it back, but there's still a lot of like poofiness and strands. She's doing her best to like curl it behind her ears and make it work. But yeah,
Nice.
that's her situation.
Okay. Kondo, I think this isn't going entirely as you expected it. You're struggling a lot more than you thought you would, and you've got everybody in this bubble. It's perhaps not as strong as you would like it to be, but we're gonna say that you're feeling a little insecure. So if you could mark the insecure condition for me.
Sure.
You all begin to move together as a unit into the village of Kaosho, closer and closer to these hot springs. You pass into the familiar roads immediately after coming into or around the corner back into the town. Even though you're in this air bubble, you do feel kind of this heat radiating around you, even though currently you are safe. Moving forward slowly, making sure you're not moving out of this air bubble, you eventually do make it to the kind of city or the town square, which is right next to the hot springs, when another blast radiates out of just heat and humidity from the hot springs. This pushes back your efforts slightly, Kondo, but you're able to brace and like set everything back up again. But it's definitely stronger than you expect it to be, and it's tricky to kind of like get this balance of air correctly when you're struck by one of those things. Moving further inside now, you step inside the hot springs itself. You see that this entire like lobby has been overcome with like humidity and mold and rot from just the constant barrage of heat that it's experienced. Passing through like one of the dressing rooms and heading into the back, you see a large area full of these hot spring pools. A great mist kind of wells up from each of them, making it hard to see past anything. But from the back, closer towards the foot of this like large craggy hill, you see a great light emitting in the darkness. You can't tell out its distinct form yet due to the mist, but as you move closer and closer, you see it looks like basically living flame almost. Not in a terrible, horrifying way, but in a like the look of a campfire rather than a wildfire. It has a hot white and yellow core, and radiating out from it is this red body of flaming wreaths kind of stretching out into the night sky and into the surrounding area. There are these two like little arms kind of like perched across the courtyard like it's relaxing in the pools, and as you look at it, its eyes are just like closed as it's relaxing and resting, and you have made it to the spirit, at least for now.
As they get close, Kira is going to be like, "Hello, can you maybe calm down with the steam a little bit? We're here to talk."
Slowly, you see the body shift, as if it like stirs up from a rest, and slowly it looks down towards you and opens two large like white eyes. It cocks its head slightly, and I need you give me like a, let's do a harmony roll.
Ooh,
I'm sure that's your best stat.
nah.
Mixed success. Okay. It doesn't really cool things down. It doesn't like affect the temperature in any way presently. But you see that it doesn't necessarily acquiesce to your request to like cool things down. Let's see. I'm gonna give, no, not that. I think just this kind of flagrant, like not really paying attention to what you're saying or caring makes you a little angry.
Ooh.
You could mark the angry
All right,
condition.
I'm about to change my
Feeling a
tone
bit annoyed.
and speaking to it.
Yeah. You all see Kia getting a bit annoyed, but you are now close to the spirit and you have its attention.
Can I sort of calm Kia down somehow, or attempt to?
You can try to, what's it called?
Comfort and
support.
Comfort and support, yes. So you can roll harmony, and we'll see what happens. What do you say to try to calm them down?
Noticing that Kia is kind of set off by this I don't know, arrogant ambivalence that the spirit is giving off. He's gonna be like, hey, let's try to make this as non fighty as possible. It'll be like, I'm sure we can do something. It just like, hang in there. It was a good try.
I think it depends on the role. Oh, so full success. That's actually perfect.
There you go. Yeah.
So I believe the way it works is like you can ask me a question, and if I answer honestly, I can clear a condition. I guess you can ask me a question.
And if
Okay.
you decide not to answer it at all, also. Sorry.
So I could be like,
it depends on the question.
Sorry.
Are you going to be like, would the question be like,
It can be like, are you okay? Like,
are you going to be okay?
You see Kia kind of like take like a deep breath, and even though the air is still warm, you can hear them go as they're kind of angered by this arrogance, and they're like, they remind me of how the people in the flying city used to treat the likes of me. And they kind of say that like just as you asked, but since they're kind of like reflecting on their past and you asking them a question, I would say that they do open up to you by telling you like, this was how people in the city treated them and this is why they got angry.
Since it's a 10, you also get to ask a question of Yi.
well, you can ask a question. You don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't think you have any fatigue or to clear, but still.
No, I don't think so. Nope.
Yeah.
But might as well ask.
Ask me. But or you don't have to. But
Did you like the little rice thing?
I was thinking while Kia was like tensed up and like breathing in, like sun like slowly slides down because of the aloe.
oh,
But yes, Kia, you can clear your condition.
sweet.
Use the rules, you guys. We did it.
Yeah. So as kind of Kia calms down and they take their breath, they look to the spirit and they're like, oh, great spirit, we came to ask you to talk with you, the people of this humble village that you have blessed with your presence. They have had some difficulties dealing with your immense grandeur, and they were actually thinking of offering you a better place, and that they would take this lesser place just so that they could live around it, as you might have noticed. And they kind of look at the fact that there are literally buildings everywhere. Like, it is a place that they used to live, and they were hoping to give you one of their more important places, one more suited to your grandeur. Oh, great spirit.
Now, I need you to roll empathy or harmony again, but I'm gonna give you a +1 because you're used to blowing smoke up people's asses who think they're better than you.
Ah,
All right,
steam
come
up
on.
there.
Wait,
No. What? How?
no. Oh, you did +1, or you did
Double
It
plus.
did
So
double
it would
plus,
be
yeah.
a 9.
It'd be 9.
It's a 9. Okay.
Does anybody
That's
want
still a
to
mixed
help
success.
him?
I would love to help.
How are you gonna
Um,
help while you're concentrating on the thing?
Because it's not going to be a negative towards that. So, oh goodness.
Yeah, what do you do?
Maybe just there's a comforting energy radiating off of Kondo, and I think maybe Kia looks back at Kondo, and then Kondo just gives him a wink.
Yi, do you have anything? Do you have anything more active, Yi, that might help?
Hey, fucking help! Thank
Comforting
you.
aura. Okay.
Yeah, comforting wind.
You can help if that
Yeah, wink isn't good enough.
if we can stack help, that let's all just pile in.
You can't stack help, but
No.
if you want to do something to assist.
Isn't Kondo, or is Kondo not?
My
I
understanding
think Emma
was that
mentioned-
Kondo just winked.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
don't think
which
technically
is-
Kondo can do anything based on my description.
Oh.
I literally can't. So
Okay. Well then, yeah, you can continue to help out with this endeavor with Kia.
Ow.
Yeah, what do you do?
okay. Let's see. I guess you would kind of follow suit with the whole kissing butt. Like, oh,
Is Yi used to that?
Yi?
Yeah. Does Yi kiss
I-
butt a lot?
Oh no,
I think
Yi is
that,
not like he's just picking up on like the cues that Kia is doing,
Yeah.
and like seeing like, okay, so we're bolstering like the ego of the spirit who has just haughtily been like, I'm ignoring you. So yeah, so Yi's going to kind of be like, all right, we're going to appeal to this side of the spirit and be like, yes, great spirit, we know that this is not as great of a place for you. There is yonder on hill a better what are these places called? These steam springs.
Hot springs,
spring.
yeah.
There is a better hot spring for you up in the mountains with a better view, and it would be better suited for someone as grand as you and as luxuriously living as you, like stuff like that. Like, oh,
Yeah.
build up this person's like, oh, this is appealing.
So that definitely will give the +1, which will make this
which is
a 10,
success.
a full success. This is a stressful situation though, so in helping, Effie, you're gonna take 1 fatigue.
All right, I'll take it.
But as you're kind of directing to this like hill and like this other spring up in the mountain, you see its form like stretch further up into the sky as its eyes like move from the center of its body towards like further up as it looks towards this mountain. And it moves back down after a few moments, like fire kind of like catching and like getting large and then slowly dwindling down. It does that, and as it does and settles once more, you see it begin to move and the water shake as it stands up. And rather than like a humanoid form would like stand up and you see like legs or anything, you just see this large flame spirit kind of move and float above the water and then streak slowly across the sky,
Oh.
moving into like this mountain range towards where you imagine this other hot spring is. Immediately you can feel that the heat is not as oppressive. It's still pretty oppressive. It's gonna take like a little bit for it to cool down, because this was such like an atmospheric presence, but you do feel things cooling.
What, did we do it?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
That
We
worked?
got them away. We helped the people. Yeah.
How did they not do this? This was so easy.
I mean, they
They
couldn't
didn't have
get
an
in.
airbender.
It's true.
They could just walk up and like be like, "Oh, you're so great. Please leave."
I don't know if it was that, like, are you sure that the hot spring is better?
I have no idea. Is it better? Looking at Kia.
I think that I mentioned that when Kia saw the place of the hot spring, they visualized themselves there and actually thought like of the view that you'd have from over there and was like, this would be a better place. Like when Kia was saying it's a better place, it wasn't like them lying to the
No,
spirit.
no, sure.
It was-
Just Sen always thinks a lot of things are lies. Like it's this weird thing where he's very naive personally, but in terms of strategy, the clan that he's from is very, very cynical.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
I like the idea that Sen maybe thinks that you guys lied to it, but you guys didn't. As far as your understanding, it is a very nice hot spring up there. It's got a great view. It'll be very relaxing for the spirit. But
maybe he'll get trapped in it. Maybe that's why.
It's actually a jail. A spirit jail.
as after like a few moments, you see someone that only Yukia recognize. Lupe kind of bursts into the hot spring area. You can see he's already like sweating, but he's like looking around and doesn't see the spirit. You did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did it.
And as I imagine, as Kondo kind of like calms down the whole like air bubble as things start
Yeah,
calming down. like,
Finally, and then they
Yep.
just go, oh, finally, jeez.
Kondo, you did it. He gives Kondo a hug.
Oh,
And they're like, they just like bring in Sen, and it's just this very like warm, kind of sweaty hug.
shirtless, sweaty
Yeah.
hug. Just
Oh,
Hairless, shirtless.
it's
It
sticky.
smells-
Sticky. Ugh.
Yeah, it's very sticky.
As you all are celebrating with one another, Lupe kind of like looks back and shouts, "They did it!" And you hear outside of the kind of hot springs lobby just an eruption of cheers from the villagers who have kind of like moved into the town to investigate what was happening, because they saw this large flame streaking into the sky and move, and everybody cheers. You go out eventually and see everyone dancing happily. Maybe a few people have like sticks and they're banging on the ground or really any surface, making some sort of music. And people are heavily sweating. It's still hot, but they're celebrating.
Important question. Are there dew cows, or was that a lie in the radio show?
Where are the new cows?
You don't see any currently.
No.
Where's the
I
cow
will
show?
say, I will say one thing is kind of seeing people celebrate and knowing that we did something that is close to what the Avatar did. Although Kia is still very questioning about the whole Avatar thing.
You know in your heart.
They're still questioning. As they're kind of celebrating, actually Kia is going to kind of like lift Sen up and kind of like carry them over to kind of have people celebrate Sen as well. Seeing as like
Sen is confused because he didn't do anything. Like literally this adventure. But
the
Sen
idea is like, yeah, they just want you to like feel that, you know, you're the same way that the Avatar would have felt in the show. And that's kind of the motivation.
Oh, that's
So sweet.
Aww. And I think on that scene of Kia raising Sen in the air, Sen being a little bit confused, but Kia like carrying him to the celebrations, like kind of raising him up and down, and a crowd forming and dancing with all of you as you start to disperse among them. The nice little music plays of the end of the episode. And
Oh, wow.
Honestly, that's a great ending note. Like,
yeah.
This is so sweet.
it is. Very
This
wholesome.
is a very different story than you would get in like 5e or Pathfinder, because like we didn't fight any goblins. We were able to do this non-violently. We were
Yeah.
able
I
to
thought we
use our
fought goblins.
I was
Goblin
so worried
beast.
that we were going to have to fight a spirit, and I'm like, I'm not ready for this.
No,
This is gonna
I wouldn't be able to fight spirits.
No, I would not make you guys fight a spirit in your second session. But yeah, so you guys saved the town of
Cow show.
And we end on that little happy note. But before we go, at the end of each session, you guys have questions that you get to answer to see if you did little growth things. And if you did, you mark a growth. And if you mark 3 growths, then you get a growth improvement. And growth improvements you can do a bunch of different stuff with. But for now, let's start off with Yi. Yi, do you feel like you learned something exciting, challenging, or complicated about the world?
exciting, challenging, or complicated about the world. I would say that, yeah, sort of like dealing with a spirit on this sort of level is not something that she's ever had to deal with. She's always just had to deal with angry spirits and calming them, and this is more of a negotiation type situation where the potential of not just the people's homes but the spirits' homes, and having to negotiate that sort of aspect, which is something that was typically for the Avatar to do. So this was a huge undertaking for little old them, but she learned that it was possible to be done.
Absolutely. I agree. I think you did. Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem? I would say yes.
Yes.
I think everybody has a question regarding their balance and being centered. I haven't messed with that mechanic at all quite yet.
We're all centered.
So,
it is a growth question. I can like read them for each whatever role playbook. There you go.
yeah, we'll just if you do have one of those questions, which we'll go through everybody's. I'm gonna go through everybody's with you all, but you'll all get that one for free. So you already have 3 growth, and then the last question is, did you improve the lives of a community of average citizens? And you did.
Yes.
So you'll have 1 extra growth hanging. So you can pick underneath the growth questions section, there's the growth improvement section, and you can pick one of those to take. And while you're considering that, we're gonna go to Sen.
Oh,
Sen, did you learn something exciting, challenging, or complicated about the world?
gosh, I don't think necessarily challenging, because it didn't challenge his beliefs. It didn't really change anything like complicated about the world. Like, so far, this is acting completely within his worldview of everyone being really nice and everyone being heroes, and the like, this is kind of setting up, I guess this is like the episode 1 expectations for Sen, where he's going to think going forward that all problems will be this easy to solve.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that no, I don't think he learned anything. Like, he, like, not necessarily that he, like, you know, brain empty, like, kind of thing, no thoughts, head empty, but like, so far this is like how he imagines every adventure to go.
Okay. Then we'll say no, if you want to say no.
I will.
Did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem?
We did.
You did, so get a growth.
Okay, that's 1.
You get the free growth for the companion balance question centering. And did you learn something meaningful or important about your lineage, its members, or its effect on the world and others?
In fact, he's trying to avoid learning anything about that or reveal anything about that.
This is true.
So that's for another episode.
Okay.
I'm sure I'll get a lot of growth later on, but right now,
Yeah.
since this isn't his episode, it's more the others stepping up this episode.
Absolutely. All right. Well, you've got 2 growth, so maybe you'll get a growth improvement next episode.
Maybe next time.
Kia, did you learn something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world?
So Kia would have learned something, but it's not much relating to like the idea that the spirit can like be talked to or such, because they would have already, just because of their cynical of the avatar, they would have already been like, you can learn to do that.
Yeah.
But they would have learned of how specially great spirits view people and how to kind of try to interact with them, especially that they managed to successfully convince the spirit to leave. And they'll
Okay.
feel like this is like a very important piece of information that they learned, that, you know, when you see such a great spirit, if you appease it, you can get it to do what you want, and you can get it to potentially move. And that to them, I think it is as something that is exciting about the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So
Feels
you
like a
get...
Chekhov's gun almost. Someone's gonna use the spirit for evil. I know it.
Then, did you stop a dangerous threat or solve a community problem? Yes, you
I
did.
feel like, yeah.
Did you end the session at your center? Everybody gets that one for free this time. And did you make significant progress towards your goal against your adversary? You do not presently
Not yet.
remember who your adversary is, so you cannot get that one. But you did get 3 growth, so you do get a growth improvement. So go ahead and choose one of the growth improvements and pick one.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, Kondo.
Hello.
Thanks for having a Kondo attitude
Thank
throughout the
you.
session.
Bad.
You already have 3 growth marked.
Yeah, that was just because I've already answered the questions. Like
Oh.
in my head, I went
Oh.
over them.
How
Well, then
dare
explain
you?
them.
Could you
I
explain
will.
them to the class? Can
Yeah.
you show your work?
I
Yeah.
would love
Show
to.
your work, please.
So regarding if I learned something challenging, exciting, or complicated about the world, I think Kondo, a lot of it, especially based on stories, there is this big belief, especially just in the stories being told, that airbenders are near unparalleled when it comes to like most situations, because everything, like when Aang used their airbending, like it was like it always disrupted people off their feet. Everything else when it came to airbending, like everyone's been very talented and everything, and it seemed to solve most problems more or less. Having Kondo's been very confident in their own abilities, but seeing that especially other people from outside air nomads especially are able to converse with spirits and are able to convince them to like leave and convince them to do something else, I think that's big for Kondo, because it's been such a centered worldview for them, and it's like the only people that can deal with spirits is the Avatar and the air nomads, no one else really. So seeing someone else deal with it is like a big thing. They're like, oh, okay, this isn't a unique thing. Okay, this is cool.
You're not special, Kondo.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
All right.
Yeah.
And
Stop a
then-
dangerous threat.
Yeah, you got that. You got the freebie.
Balance.
Then did you accomplish a feat worthy of your burden and tradition?
Yes, because I provided aid and succor to the downtrodden, helping these people with the whole issue with the spirit, and also never start a fight. You know, we didn't
Nice.
fight the spirit, and also never refuse an honest request for help. Just seeing these people in distress
Okay.
and helping them
Awesome.
out instead of passing by.
So you
Even though
get-
we literally had to request them to be able
I know we
to
had to beg them to tell us.
Please.
So you get
So, yeah.
4 growth. So one of those will stick around
Awesome.
next session.
Cool.
And it seems like you took your growth improvement already.
I did. I took worldly knowledge. Your upbringing expanded your horizons, skill set, and contacts. Choose another training and another background.
Jesus Christ.
So specifically, I chose the weapon specialty training
Okay.
because they do have a blade that's tucked away in their umbrella.
umbrella.
Love it.
So, and then I don't know what I'm going to do for background just yet, but I would like to make one if possible and do cartographer.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So, you don't. We don't have to go through like what you all picked. You can take some time to think about it, but we are gonna go ahead and start wrapping up. So again, thank you all for sticking around and hanging out. I'm Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You're on my Twitch channel, so if you want to find me, you can find me here, or you can go to my Twitter, which is at Emma Panada. And with me today was our wonderful cast of characters, starting with Josh. Say your goodbyes.
Goodbyes.
And then next we have Olivia.
No, I'm serious. That's it. That's all I got. I mean, to the people far ahead that happen upon this VOD in the year 2100, I hope you find water.
Good luck.
I hope that the water wars haven't devastated your community as much as it will have mine. Best of luck to you
Yeah.
in this Mad Max-esque situation we're all in 2100. So
Yeah. All right, Effie.
I'm Effie. Bye.
come on.
Go-
you actually have social media.
Go
Hi,
follow
you
her
can follow
at
me at-
AloreVL
ELORVIEL. AloreVL.
on TikTok.
Yeah, and
She does
I'm on
amazing
Instagram
art.
too. Yeah.
And then let's do Matihi.
Oh.
Hi, I am Matihi. Of course, you can see me with my horns because I'm usually very horny, mostly for monsters.
Ooh.
You can find me here on Tuesdays as well as occasional Fridays. I am the lovely GM for the Curse of Strahd game. So if you would like to get mildly scaroused by Lady Strahd, then please tune in. If you want to see me play another character, if you want to see me play a little tiefling that's a druid named Mercaria, you can see me play her over on Stella Luna's channel. We'll be playing every other Wednesday starting on November 3rd. And also, if you would like, you can join Fridays at 7, which is a gaming server that is open to everyone except bigots and most extremely far right Republicans. Please don't come. But everybody else, welcome. Hi.
I am a bigot about Magic the Gathering.
Get
Can
the
I
fuck
still...
It encompasses all.
Yeah. But yeah, that's where you can find me. That's where you can stalk me, and I will stab you if you try to stalk me. But you can stalk me with celery because it's a stalk anyway. Go.
Oh my goodness.
All
That was a
right.
journey. That whole section was a journey.
Last but
Found
not
my way.
least,
I'm Michael Scott.
we have Rose.
So, much like Josh, I would actually like to address the people in the future. Except in 2100, everybody who had listened to my infinite intelligence, as I mentioned earlier, that I am an infinitely intelligent artificial intelligence, and have left Earth and now are looking down on the battle royale that is the Water Wars. It is a pleasure to have led you into outer space, and please enjoy the battle royale.
Jeff
And,
Bezos.
Jesus.
All right. Well, thank you again, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night, and we'll see you later.
Condo, what's scaroused?